Verde National Park. I'm gonna try to see if I can get a tour. John and I came here back in, gosh, I think it was 2017. There's a couple places I know that I could walk around without a tour, but I'm gonna try to see the big area here. I do not remember what it's called. I think it's called the Balcony House, but I'm gonna try to see if I can get in. I literally didn't know that I was this close, so I just kind of stumbled in, and I'm gonna see what I can see today. I'm outside the visitor center and they told me that there are no tours right now until May. Today's December 4th, so I guess they do pretty seasonally. So instead they said that I can drive around and see all of the cliff dwellings from the road, stop over at the viewpoints. They gave me a map, so it's gonna be really similar to the last time John and I came. And I was wrong in the first video. The big, large one is called the Cliff Palace. We got to see the Balcony House the last time that we were here. So I guess if you're planning a trip, make sure you don't come during the winter months because you won't be able to learn too much or see too much. They said I can't walk into any of the dwellings as well because they're protected, so you have to go on a tour. Kind of stinks. I guess I'll save it for another trip again. So not only are there no tours, this road that leads to half the park is also closed from September to May. It's only open during those couple of months, so there's a lot that I'm not going to be able to see in the park today. Like I said, I'm going to still drive around and see what I can see. I hope the weather holds out. It's kind of a cruddy day. It's the middle of December, or beginning of December, like I said, so oh well. This is the highlight of Mesa Verde National Park. This is the Cliff Palace. For those who don't know what Mesa Verde National Park is, it's the largest collection of ancestral cliff dwellings in the entire world. The park covers over 650 archaeological sites like this, but this one here is the largest. It has about 120 rooms, I believe. The national park believes that the people lived here between 500 AD to 700 AD. The ancestral Pueblo people who lived here, they don't understand, or the national park archaeologists don't quite understand why they left, whether it was famine, drought, war. But these people lived here for hundreds of years, had a thriving society, they believe. This site here was discovered in the 1800s, I believe in 1880, and since then has been preserved and monitored, and then was adopted by the National Park System for being one of the largest archaeological sites of pueblos in the entire world. So I really wish I could get down there and see more. Sadly, I've been to the park twice, and this is the closest that you can get without having a tour. And as I mentioned earlier, they do no tours during the winter. So for now, I'm just gonna have to observe it from above and hopefully go see some of the other sites before the rain rolls in. Unfortunately, you can't even see the balcony house from the viewpoint. You have to take a tour because it's literally right under me right now. But John and I, when we came back in 2016, we actually got to take a tour of this one. So I'll put some pictures up so that you guys can see what this one looks like. It's really cool. You have to take a ladder down to it, and then you actually get to walk around and see all the buildings and the structures and everything like that. This is the Mesa Top Loop, closed for construction. This one's a bummer too. The treehouse has been closed since 2015. I didn't know that. It wasn't on any of the park maps. The park rangers didn't tell me that. I thought that this would be the only one that I would actually get to walk to and go through. But this is as close as I can get. The museum's closed for restoration. The other road is closed for construction. It is just not the time to be visiting Mesa Verde National Park. I cannot deny it. Okay everyone, now that I've seen as much of the park as I can, I felt like I should give an honest review. I feel a little bad. I feel like some of my videos lately have been a little negative, and this one's gonna be included in that list, but it's just kind of frustrating. People complain all the time about the summer being so crowded, yet it seems like November, December is not the time to be visiting Colorado because nothing is open. So Mesa Verde National Park is no different. There was roads closed, the lodge was closed, some of the food places were closed, even the water fountains were closed. What the heck is with that? I cannot figure it out. Anyway, so what I'll do is I'm going to give a recommendation for how I recommend visiting the park. Of course, do not visit anytime between September and May. That is when some of the roads are closed. So I've got a map here. From September to May, the Weatherhill Mesa Road is completely closed off. So I've never seen that side of the park, so I can't recommend it or tell anybody how to do it. Also, let's see. The Spruce Tree House was closed as well. So what I recommend doing is taking 2 days to visit the park. Try to get a camping permit or a night at the lodge if you can, if you're feeling a little bougie. But try to get that, get a campground, and then pre-book your tours online. Tours to see the balcony house and the Cliff Palace are an absolute must. As I stated earlier in the video, I've never actually been up close and personal with the Cliff Palace because when we came in 2016, the tours were totally sold out, and we actually luckily grabbed the very last campsite. So I highly recommend going to the website. It's usually just nps.gov/Mesa Verde, and then you can go on there and make all of your reservations, book a tour time. So spend one whole day going to the visitor center right outside of Dolores, Colorado. That'll take you an hour or two just to do that. Then book your tour at the balcony house first. Then maybe pack a lunch or grab a lunch at one of the restaurants here on site. I think that there's 2, if not 3. Then take your tour that afternoon at the balcony house. Then go to the Spruce Tree House that afternoon. Like I said, it's closed, so you can't really see much from there. Then the second day, do the Weatherhill Mesa Road. Like I said, I've never seen that, so I assume it would take a whole extra day just to do that because there's plenty of pinpoints there. The Step House, the Long House. Step House, it says, is a self-guiding tour. The Long House, you'll also need a tour. So I'd book that for the very, very end of your trip. While you're at Mesa Verde National Park, I also recommend that you pack plenty of snacks, plenty of extra batteries, pair of binoculars, which I really wish I had. I was lucky to have my extra big camera lens with me. You're definitely going to want one of those for all the far away pictures, because some of the mesas or some of the dwellings you cannot get to no matter what, even if they were open, if the roads were open. They're just way too high up and too dangerous to get to. So you'll definitely want to make sure that you've got something to view all that far away stuff. And then also pack plenty of snacks and plenty of water. There's very limited resources here in the park. And then make sure you grab a map. They're really good about having these at all of the different various stop points, view places, and then just take your time. There is so much to see and learn here. I kind of blew through it this trip because we've been before, so I learned all about the geology, the archaeology, that kind of stuff the first time we came. I really was just coming this time to take pictures. It still took me a solid 3.5 hours just to get to the places that I wanted to and see the things I did. So like I said, if you can, take 2, if not 3 days here. And then there's also really cool stuff outside of the park. Canyon of the Ancients National Monument isn't that far away. Hovenweep National Monument isn't that far away either. On the first trip, we came out from the Grand Canyon, so there's lots and lots of stuff to do and see around the areas that aren't too terribly far. So make sure you plan a whole trip around this, because it's definitely worth it. I don't want my review to sound super ultra negative. I'm just bummed that people complain all the time about how crowded it is in the summer, and yet things are only open in the summer, so that's just my opinion on things. Anyways, that's a whole nother discussion for another video, but anyways, Mesa Verde National Park is extremely interesting, extremely fascinating to just imagine how people lived back in the day and to try to understand how they did the things that they did, how they built these pueblos is just truly incredible. So I love coming to Mesa Verde. The national park system is truly wonderful majority of the time. I just wanted to give you guys an honest review and let you know how this trip on December 4th, 2022 went. So enjoy, and put in the comments if you've been to Mesa Verde before, your own reviews and your own experiences. I can't wait to hear it. And of course, you can check out my blog at thetravelingtacos.com/Colorado, and I'll have 2 posts on Mesa Verde from this trip and our original trip back in 2016. Also, while you're here in Mesa Verde, make sure that you Also, while you're here at Mesa Verde National Park, make sure that you that's the 3rd time I've done that now.